Have you ever noticed how a few weeks into something new, maybe a program, a plan, a commitment to your health, life suddenly gets noisy? A family drama kicks off, work becomes stressful, and those new ideas you were so excited about just aren't panning out. The plan, the diet that felt so promising a month ago suddenly loses its shine. You start thinking, maybe this just isn't for me after all. And that's when the doubts creep in. You question what you signed up for. Your mind starts to wonder, maybe there's something better out there. Maybe I just need a different program, a better plan, a new start. And before you know it, the quest for the ultimate perfect diet solution restarts all over again. I see this all the time. In fact, I get emails from people at this exact point, usually somewhere between week 4 and week 8, saying, thank you for everything, something's come up, I can't commit. But let's be honest, most people don't even send the email. Most just quietly disappear. They detach, stop reading, stop showing up, and start searching for the next fix. Now, if this is you, please listen up, because what if this isn't just life getting in the way? What if this is a pattern, a form of self-sabotage you've never ever considered before? What if this is the very moment that's been keeping you stuck, not just in any program, but every time you've tried to change your health? In this video, I'm going to help you see the week 4 wobble for what it really is, so you can finally break the cycle and move through it, not around it. And my name is Dr. Ners Frater, and I help people reverse their diabetes and pre-diabetes by using lifestyle medicine. So here's what we're going to cover in this video, so you can actually get unstuck and make real lasting change. First is the myth of linear progress and why your journey is supposed to get messy. Number 2, why overwhelm hits hardest right when you're about to make a breakthrough. Number 3, how information overload and conflicting advice can paralyze you and what to do instead. And number 4, what self-sabotage really looks like and how to spot it in your own behaviour. I'll take you through the exact steps to take when you want to quit so you can push through and come out stronger. My name is Neris. I'm a GP and founder of the Lifestyle Clinic, and I have a specific passion for helping people reverse diabetes, not just with meal plans, but with the mindset shifts and self-awareness that actually make changes last. So if you're someone who starts strong but never seems to continue, if you've ever ghosted a program or quit on yourself or found yourself endlessly searching for the next fix, then please lean in. This video could be the turning point you never knew you needed. Let's start with a myth of linear progress. Let's get this really straight. If you believe that progress should look like a straight line, nice steady downward slope of your weight, you have been sold a fantasy. You've probably heard it before. Just aim for 1 to 2 pounds of weight loss every week, nice and steady, week after week, a perfect little downward slope on the graph. Maybe you've even set this as your goal. Imagining that as long as you stick to the plan, you'll keep moving forward. No hiccups, no plateaus, no setbacks. But let's be honest, are you a robot? Are you a spreadsheet? Of course not. You are a human being, and human beings are complex, ever-changing mix of genetics, hormones, metabolism, emotions, and life circumstances. And yet, we've all been sold the idea that you can program yourself for predictable linear results if you just try hard enough. But here's what really happens. Week 1 to 2, you're on fire. The excitement is real, novelty is energizing, you're proud of yourself, you're taking action. You're showing up, ticking off new habits, maybe even feeling strong and invincible. Week 3 and 4, the shine starts to fade. You're still going though, you're determined, you're making it work, and you're telling yourself this time is going to be different. But then week 4 to 6, now the reality starts to hit. The meal planning, shopping, cooking from scratch, all on top of working full-time, caring for elderly relatives, kids, school runs, whatever is in your life, the effort begins to feel heavy. Then week 6 to 8, the wobble can turn into overwhelm. You find yourself dreading the prep, resenting the time it takes, feeling stretched by all the new routines you've layered onto an already busy life. Maybe you start skipping a few steps, telling yourself you'll catch up next week. Maybe you start fantasizing about how much easier life was before you started. And this is the moment where people disappear. Not because they're weak, but because they've been taught that struggle means stop, that discomfort means you're on the wrong path. But nobody really discusses this. Real progress is not tidy. It's not a straight line. This was never meant to be a maths equation. The line of progression itself is wobbly, and sometimes you do go backwards. In fact, sometimes you have to go backwards in order to go forwards. It's messy. It's human. There will be plateaus, relapses, and many moments of doubt. Sometimes you'll feel like you're barely holding it together. And yes, the urge to quit will be strong. But what if this is the point that matters the most? What if the 4-week wobble is proof that you're finally pushing past surface level change? You're actually beginning to rewire old patterns. Ask yourself honestly, are you only willing to keep going when things are easy and the graph looks perfect? Or are you ready to accept that being human means mess, setbacks, and sometimes standing still? Because the people who change their lives aren't the ones who never wobble. They're the ones who expect to wobble. They plan for it and refuse to let it become personal and to become a dead end. Here's what nobody tells you. Overwhelm doesn't strike because you're weak or lack motivation. It hits right after the novelty wears off, when the real work begins and you're suddenly juggling your old life plus a whole new set of habits, expectations, responsibilities. You're not just finding motivation, it is the mental load. You're trying to remember what's for dinner, what you need to buy, how to cook it, how to keep everybody in the house happy. You're probably fielding work emails, school forms, family dramas, unexpected curveballs, whilst also trying to meal prep, track, and the new routines. And keeping up with the WhatsApp groups, live sessions, new recipes, shopping lists. Everything becomes another thing you should do. Problem is, the more you care, the heavier it feels. You want to get this right. You want to do it properly. So you push harder. You try to be perfect. Before you know it, you're exhausted, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And that's when your brain is starting to whisper. Maybe you're not cut out for this. Maybe there's an easier way. Maybe you need a different plan. The right diet, the right program. So you start searching, scrolling, comparing. You lose hours to Google, YouTube, Facebook groups, hoping for a magic answer. But the more you search, the more confused and paralyzed you feel. Everybody's advice is different. Who do you trust? And here's the shift. What if overwhelm isn't a sign you're failing, but a sign you're right at the edge of your comfort zone? What if this is exactly where the change happens? If you don't let it win. Because if you let overwhelm win, you'll quit just before the breakthrough. But let's call it for what it is. Sometimes overwhelm is self-sabotage in disguise. You tell yourself you're too busy, too tired, too confused. Yes, life is demanding. But if you look closer, you might see a pattern. Every time you get close to a breakthrough, your mind looks for an exit. This is too hard. Maybe I picked the wrong plan. I'll try again when things calm down. Self-sabotage really shows up as outright rebellion. It's subtle, it's slow, skipping things, not clogging in. It's the voice that says, you've got so much on your plate, you deserve a break. It rationalizes. You're not quitting, you're just having a pause. But deep down, this is the same story that's played out before. The same script, maybe a different program. Why do we do this? Because quitting quietly and visibly hurts less than failing publicly. Because if you never truly try, you never have to face the fear that you might not succeed. Because searching for the next perfect solution feels safer than sticking with the hard, boring, sometimes messy work of real change. So here's a question I want you to sit with. Is your overwhelm real, or is it an old pattern of self-sabotage dressed up as busyness, confusion, or perfectionism? Are you about to disappear? Or are you willing to stay in the discomfort and see what's on the other side? If you're someone that starts strong, but seem to vanish when things get hard, this is your pattern. And you can't break it by finding a better plan. You break it by staying put, seeing it through, and not hitting the eject button when things are hard. What if, instead, you lowered the bar? What if you gave yourself permission to do the bare minimum, just for now? Instead of cooking from scratch every night, what if you repeated the same simple meal all week? Instead of aiming for perfection, what if you just aimed to maintain, to hold steady, not to get worse just for a week? Instead of tracking every bite or step, what if you focused on non-negotiables that matter most? Drinking water, walking for 5 minutes, or eating a single nourishing meal each day. And it's a real aha moment that people miss. Maintenance is progress. Holding steady in the middle of chaos is a massive win. And simplifying it isn't failure, it is wisdom. You do not have to do more. be more, or get it all right. You just have to keep the thread going. Because the people who succeed aren't the ones who never wobble. They're the ones who refuse to let a wobble become a full stop. So next time, when the urge to disappear or chase the next shiny new program comes, try this. Zoom out. Lower the bar. Do less, but do it consistently. And you might be surprised at how powerful just enough can be. But here's the trap that people fall into. Right when you start to lower the bar and do the bare minimum, your brain will get uncomfortable. It hates just enough. It wants the dopamine hit of something new, promising, and something that feels like progress. If you're always chasing the next best thing, you never give yourself the chance to see what's possible when you simply just keep going. You trade the hard, slow wins of real progress for the short-lived excitement of starting over. So when you catch yourself itching to jump ship, to scroll, to compare, to research, pause. Ask yourself, am I bored, uncomfortable, or just scared that just enough might actually be the answer I've been avoiding all the time? So if you've made it this far, you already know the week 4 wobble isn't a sign you're failing. It's the crossroads where some people quit, but where real change finally starts. It's the moment when the novelty fades, the effort feels heavy, the urge to escape or upgrade is the strongest. But here's the truth. Progress isn't linear. Maintenance is progress. The bare minimum done consistently beats the perfect plan you never stick with. And the endless search for the next best thing? It is self-sabotage dressed up as research. So what if you did the radical thing and kept going? What if you resisted the urge to disappear, to start over? What if you let just enough be enough, just for now? And if you are nodding your head, if you recognise this pattern that I've discussed in this video, then this is an invitation. Don't disappear. Don't restart. Don't quit on yourself. If you want more support, motivation, or a reset, I invite you to join my next live webinar. We'll talk honestly about the wobbles, the setbacks, and how to keep going when every part of you wants to quit. Details are in the description. You don't need a new plan. You need to keep going, and I shall see you in the next video.